Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from the Logisticians from Group 7. Our group would like to present about the strategic audit report of Fraser and Neaves Holdings Berhad. Before that, I would like to introduce the team members, which is my name is Farhan bin Abdul Karim, meeting number is 263736, Fatih Razlina binti Razali 263797, Sharida binti Anas 263840, Hasni Syahirah binti Hassan 265614, and lastly Nur Hidayah binti Abdul Razak 265604. Without further ado, we would like to go to the introduction. The purpose is to conduct a strategic audit on Fraser and Neaves Holdings Berhad and understand how the company take the business decision. Next, by using the methods which the SWOT analysis, we look at the market strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats from both an internal and external perspective. So we are using several methodologies, which is the TOS matrix and the Porter's 5 force models. Lastly, we will go deeper into strategy development and selecting recommend strategic alternative that will assist F&N company in fitting into the strategic orientation. Now, we will go through to the strategic issues and problems that occur in Fraser and Neaves Holdings Berhad. So it is divided into 4, which is political environment, economic environment, social environment, and the technological environment. Okay, the political environment is the government's decision to implement an excise tax on sweetened beverage was recently called sugar tax. Based on the Age Market 2018, drink that containing more than 5 grams of sugar or sugar-based sweetener per 100 milliliter will be subject to a sugar tax of 40 cents a liter. So this will incur high cost to the F&N to producing the drinks in their manufacturing. Next is the economic environment. It is the losses in the foreign exchange and fluctuating stock prices. This concern have a direct impact on F&N performance and profitability. As a result, this challenge that F&N may encounter and must overcome in order to entering the new market. Next is the social environment. The F&N face the difficulty of shifting lifestyle when entering a new market. With F&N goods that contains sugar as the primary ingredients, a healthy lifestyle is meaningless. This is the one of F&N problem and solution are required to enter a new market. Lastly is the technological environment. F&N focus on the product portfolio expansion through the innovation. We focus on benefit of healthy ingredient and consumer convenience. One of the product, which is 100 plus active in powder sacket, was developed as part of the brand revamp for the travelers and people who always on the move.
Okay, next I will explain about the company background. The Frasers and Neaves Holdings Berhad is a Sharia compliant company. The company is listed on Bursa Malaysia's main board. F&N derived by John Fraser and David Chalmers Neaves in 1883, and the company produced carbonated soft drinks. The F&N HB or the group is amongst the region's oldest and most established company. The group is one of the largest distributors of beverage and dairy product in a region with brand, for instance, F&N Fun Flavor, 100 Plus, F&N Nutrisoy, F&N Ice Mountain, Borneo, Oyoshi, and many more. Despite become the manufacturers and distributors in dairy line, the company also produce sweetened, evaporate, and condensed milk. Also package of milk and juice products under the F&N Teapot, Gold Coin, F&N Magnolia, Farmhouse, and F&N Fruit Tree brands. Product of F&N now are exported to 82 countries around the world. They now are focusing on serve halal products in halal markets, leveraging their halal hub accreditation. There were a few standards in measure the successfulness of F&N company, which their facility certified with ISO 14001 for environmental management standards, ISO 22000 for management of food safety. Besides, they also certified by Good Manufacturing Practice (GMP) and Hazard Analysis Critical Control Point (HACCP). As for today, FNN is synonymous with high quality and provide halal compliant product. Every level of generations is using the product, and it is trusted product. In year of 2020, the world has struck by COVID-19 pandemic. FNNHB stayed in a resilient economic performance in the face of external shock. However, they have achieved by maintaining a leadership in their core markets and by leveraging employees' expertise and innovative of technology in order to meet consumer demands and enroll in the new market. During MCO period, they try to maximize the output despite reducing the workforce and production hours, like other companies to cut costs. With the process of innovation, their product and improve the productivity and efficiency, they success in launch healthier product with more convenient packaging. To improve the environmental performance, they implement innovative manufacturing process to improve the productivity of the product. Okay, next I will move to the strategies. Their vision is to become the leading total beverage company in Malaysia and the region. 137 years ago, John Fraser and David Chalmers Neaves has formed the Singapore and Straits Aerated Water Company to serve the best quality of carbonate soft drinks. The time passed, now FNN is synonymous with high quality and halal products that trusted by all Malaysians. To achieve the mission, they having the leverage of power inherent strength and diversity in order creating of inclusive synergy and commit with the goal. Okay, next is the mission. Their mission is to provide superior return to their stakeholders, excellent value for their customers, and a rewarding career for all their staff. When the pandemic has struck all the nation, the group has implemented several cautions in order to minimize the impact of COVID-19, especially to take care of their safety, their staff, customers, partners, and the communities while they operate. The action taken include work from home, take precautionary in social distancing, and follow the standard operating procedure. The meeting also conducted virtually and utilized all the available technology to make sure the operating of the company not affected. The board and management have also done cash flow planning and stress tests on the income and asset pools, long-term viability. The heightened liquidity risks are being mitigated by strengthened cash flow management and cost savings measures. The group also reviewed the effectiveness of its strategies to protect the interests of the group and its stakeholders. Okay, next I will move to the objective. The FNN goals are stated directly, although they did say that they are working on a strategy. Drive to get equal contribution from their domestic and international operations. FNN also mentioned that through tailoring their selling items and expanding their product line, they will focus on developing long-term relationship with their clients. Okay, strategy since COVID-19 has struck entire world, they have several strategies in order to sustain their business, increasing the urgency with which they manage the environmental and social issues that may harm them, and they were able to expand on and strengthen a number of initiatives and that generates values for stakeholders. Okay, next, they have a responsible to the supply chain. Through the Buyers Supporting VIVE program, FNHB become a member of the world's first totally sustainable end-to-end sugar supply chain. Now, they now plan to utilize only RSPO certified palm oil by 2025 after completing their goal and obtaining routable on sustainable palm oil credits for all of their palm oil needs. They have joined as a founding member of a group of manufacturers working to build a more sustainable future by recycling post-consumer packaging trash. Okay, next, reducing carbon format. They recognize the essential need to address climate change and completely support the government's goal of lowering the country's GHG intensity. They are constructing of solar energy capacity and its Malaysian factory to achieve these goals. When finished in 2021, this project will create enough clean energy to power 3,700 typical household in the country. Okay, by 2022, they will have met at least 20% of Malaysia's renewable energy requirements. The ASRS has been installed in their warehouses in Malaysia and Thailand, resulting in less shunting between third-party warehouse and their plants, as well as a reduction in the use of forklift, lowering their fuel consumption and greenhouse gas emission. Okay, the driving social progress from delivering value, they have the capacity to provide significant social and economic benefit due to the sheer magnitude and scope of their operations. They try to empower different groups of the community by using their position. They collaborate with the Halal Industry Development Corporation, HDC, for instance, to assist small and medium business SMEs in becoming halal vendors. Their contributions to Malaysia's halal environment were recognized this year at the World Halal Conference 2020 with the Halal Food and Beverage Excellence Award. Meanwhile, the Central Islamic Council of Thailand in Bangkok has chosen FNN Diaries Limited as Thailand's best halal company of the year. Okay, next I will move to the board of directors of the company. The directors are aware of the time commitment required of them to attend to group matters in general, including board and board committee meetings as well as other type of meetings. Board meetings and meeting of board committees are scheduled in advance for each fiscal year so that the director can prepare ahead. The present board of directors is well balanced, reflecting the interests of both the controlling and minority shareholders. 6 of the 11 directors are independent directors, while the chairman and 4 nomination of the controlling shareholders, Fraser and Neaves Limited, are non-independent directors. Okay, I will start first with Yang Amat Mulia, Tengku Syarif Bendahara Perlis Syed Badaruddin Jamalullah, Ibni Almarhum Tuanku Syed Putra Jamalullah, Chairman of Board, is non-independent non-executive director. He appointed on 24th February 1987. He has completed 6 per 6 of meetings that been held. He also has Master of Arts degree in Law and History, Cambridge University, United Kingdom. Except for his position as an independent non-executive director of Fraser and Neaves Limited, a major shareholder of the company, Yang Amat Mulia Tengku Syed Badaruddin Jamalullah has no family relationship with any director or major shareholder of the company, nor any personal interest in any business arrangement involving the company. Beside holding the position as the chairman of FNN Holdings, Berhad, on January 8, 2014, he also been appointed as the independent non-executive director of Fraser and Neaves Limited. Subsequently, on May 7, 2015, he was appointed as the lead independent director of FNN Limited. Okay, next, Mr. Lee Meng Tat, he appointed on 1st October 2015. He also completed 6 per 6 meeting held for BOD. He holds Master of Business Administration, Imperial College in London. Okay, next, Mr. David Siu Katong, appointed on 23rd February 2016, and he fully attend 6 per 6 meetings held. Um, he is one of the member of Malaysian Institute of Accountants and a member of Malaysian Institute of Certified Public Accountants. Then, Datuk Sri Johan Tazrim bin Hamid Ngor, appointed on 23rd January 2013, and he also completed 6/6 board meetings held. He has a Bachelor of Arts Honours degree in Business Economics, Reading University, United Kingdom, and also associate member of the Society of Investment Professionals in United Kingdom and European Associate of Financial Analysts. Next is Madam Tan Fong Sang, appointed on 1st October 2020, where she completely joined four of the board meetings. She has the qualifications where she one of the member Malaysian Institute of Accounts, and she holds bachelor degree in accounting from National University of Malaya. Next, Madam Tan Fong Sang was appointed as alternate director to Mr. Lee Kong Yip since he following his retirement as a non-independent, non-executive director of the company on 30 September 2020. Okay, next is Datuk Jurgen Bonhoff is appointed to the board of FNN on 7th May 2013. He holds degree in accountancy and finance from Copenhagen Business School. Next, Mr. Hui Chun Kit is from Singapore, and he is appointed on 6 August 2014. He able to complete the number of board meetings, which is 6/6. He holds Master of Business Administration from Nanyang Technological University. Currently, he is the Chief Financial Officer of the Fraser and Neaves Limited and responsible for the group's corporate finance, treasury, accounting, taxation, investor relations, risk management, sustainability, and corporate secretarial functions. Okay, next point, Aida binti Muhammad Daud. Appointed as non-independent of a non-executive director on 24th January 2018, and then FNN company redesignated as independent non-executive director on 10th December of 2018. She managed to attend all the board meetings 6/6. Puan Aida binti Madod holds a Master in Business Administration, Strathsided University in Scotland. Okay, next point, Farida binti Abdul Kadir, appointed on 24th January 2018, and she commit with the 6/6 board meetings. She has Master of Business Administration at Cranfield School Management in United Kingdom. Okay, next, Datuk Muhammad Anwar bin Yahya, appointed as a board of director at 24th January 2018. He attends all 6 board meetings. Datuk Muhammad Anwar bin Yahya has a Bachelor of Science degree in Economics and Accountancy from University of Hull from United Kingdom. Datuk Kamaruddin bin Taib was appointed on 8 November 2018, and he managed to attend 6/6 of board meetings. While Datuk Kamaruddin bin Taib has Bachelor of Science in Mathematics from University of Salford, United Kingdom, he is a group of executive committee. Okay, for organizational structure, FNN is one of the most seasoned firms in the district and Malaysia, and its image benefit from the unique distinction of being a market pioneer and well-known name in a variety of categories. FNN is a subsidiary of Fraser and Neaves Limited, a Singapore-listed company that operates in Malaysia, Brunei, Thailand, and Indochina. FNN has established itself as a provincial player in Malaysia and has stretched its wing to more than 40 countries across the world. Following a strategic assessment in 2008, FNN restructured its management structure. It named CEOs for 3 of its main business, which is food and beverage, real estate, and printing and publishing. When its agreement with the Coca-Cola company expires in 2009, FNN recover distribution rights for its soft drink in Singapore. FNN, on the other hand, lost the right to bottle and distribute Coca-Cola products in Malaysia at the same time. F&N then launched a new goods and made investment in marketing and distribution infrastructure. FNN is one of the firms that is actively involved in aiding the disadvantage. The issue of wealth and opportunity inequality is the primary reason why FNN has chosen to focus on strengthening disadvantage groups in order to take the lead in addressing this problem as their employees and customers come from all walks of life. Inequality hinders their business growth and potential as well as the community in which they operate. FNN is focused on disadvantaged children as a vulnerable demographic, and as a result, they are investing in educational programs that teach both technical and soft skills. FNN hopes to foster a society with more equality, diversity, and social inclusion through this investment, allowing business and society to thrive together.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Sharida binti Anas. My matrix number is 263840. I will explain about the financial analysis for FNN Holding Berhad Company. So firstly, it is a liquidity ratio. It is a type of financial ratio used to determine a company's ability to pay its short-term debt obligations. The metric helps determine if a company can use its current or liquid assets to cover its current liabilities. So the main liquidity ratios are the current ratio and quick ratio. Basically, investors and creditors want to see a company with liquidity ratios above 1.0, which means a company with healthy liquidity ratios is more likely to be approved for credit. So secondly, it is activity ratios. It is a financial metric used to gauge how efficient a company's operations are. The term can include several ratios that can apply to how efficiently a company is employing its capital or assets. So I will use total asset turnover and receivable turnover. Thirdly, a leverage ratio is any kind of financial ratio that indicates the level of debt incurred by a business entity against several other accounts and uh, in its balance sheet, income statement, or cash flow statement. These ratios provide an indication of how the company's assets and business operations are financed. Fourthly, profitability ratios. It is used to measure and evaluate the ability of a company to generate income relative to revenue, balance sheet assets, operating costs, and shareholders' equity during a specific period of time. They show how well a company utilized its assets to produce profit and value to shareholders. A higher ratio or value is commonly sought after by most companies, as this usually means the business is performing well by generating revenues, profits, and cash flow. I will analyze based on return on equity, return on asset, and net profit margin. And lastly, the common stock ratio. It measures the proportion of company's total capitalization that is comprised of common stock. A high percentage indicates that company management is conservative. Okay, I will start with the current ratio. The current ratio determines a company's ability to meet short-term obligations that are due within a year. So it shows a company's financial health and how it may make the most of its current assets to repay debts and payables. It means that a ratio higher than 1 indicates that the company's current assets are sufficient to cover short-term liabilities. Based on the table here, it can be seen that FNN Holding Berhad has current ratio greater than 1 for the 3 consecutive years, which means company has a good financial health. And based on the trend, it can be seen that the current ratio is increasing year by year. Thus, for every 1 ringgit of current liability, the company has 2 ringgit and 42 cent of current assets available to pay for it. Next, quick ratio. The quick ratio is a stricter test of liquidity than the current ratio. Actually, both are similar in the sense that current asset is the numerator and current liability is the denominator. However, the quick ratio only considers certain current assets. It considers more liquid assets such as cash, account receivables, and marketable securities. It leaves out current assets such as inventory and prepaid expenses because the two are less liquid. So, the quick ratio is more of a true test of a company's ability to cover its short-term obligations. As you can see on the table, FNN Holding Berhad has a quick ratio larger than 1 for the 3 consecutive years, and it keeps increasing year by year. So FNN Holding Berhad has enough current assets to cover its current liabilities for every year stated. The third financial analysis is based on total assets turnover. So basically, total assets refer to all the assets that are reported on a company's balance sheet, both operating and non-operating. Total assets turnover is a measure of how efficiently a company is using its total assets. Based on the graph, the total asset turnover for FNN Holding Berhad is decreasing year by year. It indicates that too much capital is tied up in assets and that assets are not being used efficiently in generating revenue. Usually, higher ratios are often preferred since they reflect effective asset use. The fourth financial analysis is about receivable turnover. The account receivable turnover measures how efficiently a company is able to manage its credit sales and convert its account receivables into cash. A high receivables turnover signals that a company is able to convert its receivables into cash very quickly, whereas low receivables turnover signals that a company is not able to convert its receivables as fast as it should. So based on the graph here, it can be seen that in 2018 and 2019, the receivable turnover for FNN Holding Berhad is same, which is 6.8 times. However, in 2020, the trend is slightly false, which is from 6.8 to 6.76. So this shows that FNN Holding Berhad capability in turning receivables into cash is slightly decreased compared to previous year. Next, the debt to asset ratio, or also known as the debt ratio. It is a leverage ratio that indicates that percentage of assets that are being financed with debt. The debt to asset ratio is commonly used by creditors to determine the amount of debt in a company, the ability to repay its debt, and whether additional loans will be extended to the company. FNA Hadi Berhad has a smaller than 1 debt asset ratio for the 3 consecutive years. So based on the graph here, the trend is moving downward, which means it is a good sign for FNN Hadi Berhad. There has a lower debt to total asset ratio, which is contributed to lower financial risk. This is return on equity. It expresses the percentage of net income relative to stockholders' equity, or the rate of return on the money that equity investors have put into the business. In short, the return on equity ratio indicates how much profit is generated per dollar of common stockholders' equity. Return on equity also a measure of how well management uses equity capital to support operations and expand the business, which means a high return on equity ratio implies that the firm is successfully utilizing its investors' capital. So based on the trend here, it shows that the return on equity ratio for FNN Holding Berhad is decreasing throughout the years. Um, Higher ratios are nearly always preferable than smaller ones. This is return on assets. It shows the percentage of net earnings relative to the company's total asset. So basically, the return on asset ratio specifically reveals how much after-tax profit a company generates for every $1 of assets it holds. It also measures the asset intensity of a business. To put it another way, the return on asset ratio assess how well a corporation can manage its asset to generate profits over time. So based on the graph here, the trend shows that return on asset for FNN Holding Berhad is fluctuate. It indicates that company is better managing its assets to generate more net income in 2019 compared to 2020. Yeah, this is net profit margin. It looks at the company's net income and divides it into total revenue. It provides the final picture of how profitable a company is after all expenses, including interest and taxes, have been taken into account. So, in other words, the profit margin ratio reveals how much of a company's revenues is left over after all expenditures are paid. So based on the trend here, the profit margin ratio for FNN Holding Berhad is growing throughout the 3 years. So it indicates that firm is good at controlling its expenditure in relation to its net sales. The last financial analysis is based on the dividend yield. It is a financial ratio that measures the annual value of dividends received relative to the market value per share of a security. In other words, the dividend yield formula calculates the percentage of a company's market price of a share that is paid to shareholders in the form of dividends. So based on the trend here, it can be seen that dividend yield for FNN Holding Berhad is shrinking. However, the company's industry determines whether the dividend yield is high or low. As a result, even a little payout might result in a high dividend yield ratio. In general, investors want the highest possible yield. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Fatin Razlina binti Razali 263-797 and I will continue the presentation on the external forces, which is STEP analysis. STEP analysis stands for social, technology, economy, environmental and political, that is used to evaluate the external factors that can give impact to the company decision and strategy. This analysis can help the company to come up with a clear strategy and spreadly can help to understand the relation of the company with the external management that may influence the company performance. For the first is social. Social culture is based on individual attitude, interests, and beliefs that are influenced by social cultural factors. It influences the consumer behavior and ultimately what they tend to buy. Next is a technology. The development of new technology has the potential to transform an industry operation. Changes in technology may have a direct impact on outsourcing decision, which is a key predictor for profitability. And then next is economic. For external analysis on economic issues such as interest rate, fluctuation rates, and global price volatility may influence predicted sales, product price, and customer purchasing capability. Next is environmental. The environment aspect are crucial by all manufacturing companies to ensure the company is sustainable in the industry. And then last but not least is political. Political forces, according to the concept, apply to federal, state, municipal, and international government, which act as regulator, deregulator, branches, employers, and customer for organization. Next, I will continue on SWOT analysis, which is strength and weakness. For strength, the first is FNN have strong brand and strong relationship with other merchant partner in the market. In the extent to that, FNN has begun to widen its profitable sources outside Malaysia. Furthermore, FNN key goals for the coming year is to make Dubai an important location for expanding their market into the Middle East and Africa. FNN also expand their network of customers served directly that include to the segment of Central Peninsular Malaysia and East Malaysia with strong sales. Second is FNN have strong e-commerce platform in online market trends during COVID-19 crisis. The trend of online market in global economy can be seen as the most flexible and effective way to be resilient in the market nowadays. During COVID-19 crisis, FNN assisted their distributor or retailer in setting up e-commerce sites and organizing e-Ramadan Bazaar to improve sales during Ramadan. FNN has begun to use the FNN Live apps as well as collaborating with their e-commerce partner in Malaysia, Thailand, and outside foreign country to improve customer experience and interaction. And then the third is FNN also involved as market leading in the development of innovation and excellence. So for this, FNN also involved in innovation and excellent in technology as well as leading the market in the development of business as tribute to their dedication on upholding the certified halal standard to the growth of the nation halal industry. FNN have received the award of prestigious Halal Food and Beverages Excellent Award from the Halal Development Council. And then the fourth is FNN have strong sustainability framework in business, which is FNN have promise of the concept of pure happiness, pure goodness. Therefore, to put it another way, they use the best product and employ best practices in the way of sources, produce, and distribute. They also have the framework on managing sustainable impacts towards the business and environmental aspect. This is such as practices on eco-efficiency, supply chain management responsibility, and safety well-being. Next is weakness. First is FNN is lack of marketing in health awareness of their product. FNN is a well-known and well-liked beverage company that produces inexpensive and tasty beverages. And there's a research found that phosphoric acid is found in many beverages and has been linked to an increased risk of kidney stones and the kidney failure. Since its induced an acidic environment in the kidney system, phosphoric acid is connected to kidney stones. Next is the decrement on revenue from 2019 to 2020 due to COVID-19 impact. Low market sentiment and competitive pressure, particularly in Malaysia, resulted to 1.6% drop in revenue to RM0.39 billion from 4.0 billion last year. The decrement revenue affected the FNN may caused by the impact of movement control order due to COVID-19 crisis. As we all know, COVID-19 has causes to economic fluctuation as mostly business is advised to shut down or work from home to reduce the spread of virus among the society. Next is lack of demand on some selected product. Despite the fact that FNN has produced some globally popular products such as 100 Plus, and they even received the award for 100 Plus beverages, thus the company has far too many diverse items in the market. The majority of them are unknown and rarely seen for sale in the marketplace. People are more likely to choose goods that are already well known and well liked in their circles. Last but not least is FNN faced the challenges on economic and political instability during COVID-19. Economic during COVID-19 is a tough one to every sector, including the society. FNN also get affected to the decrement in economy as well as the instability of political management in the country. Basically, the industrial player and company take serious regarding the political since it will affect their taxes and subsidies for the company. Next, I will move on TOS matrix strategy, which is strength and opportunities. The first is FNN should make their business be more competitive in foreign market. Moving the firm into global market has several advantages, including new chances for growth and sales, as well as the ability to make the company more competitive in industry. Second is FNN should utilize online platform functionality as their strong marketing strategy, as this technique of marketing that entails the creation and distribution of online content such as films, blogs, and social media posts that does not directly promote the product, but is meant to spark interest in its product or services. And lastly is FNN should develop more research and technology advancement. The design research and data analytics can be used to get the company involved and improve sales. When R&D can keep it up with the latest development, the company is considered as flexible and valuable. Next is TOS matrix strategy on weakness and opportunity. The first is FNN should gain customer trust by providing more information using e-commerce or online platform. FNN should plan a strategy that is effective to gain customer trust and give convenience to customers to access their product. For instance, FNN can make their own e-commerce platforms such as Shopee or Lazada. Second is FNN should develop more product differentiation strategy. FNN need to plan from something tangible such as speed, ability, productivity, or better service that could make a difference in product to be released in market. And lastly is FNN should improve more strategy in business management prospect. FNN should be more proactive on focusing the strategy of prospect in business management. For instance, to build partnership with courier and logistic company in conjunction of the rising trend of e-commerce business. That's all from me. Thank you.
Next is 5 process by Michelle Porter. First is competition in the industry. Competition industry as for Fraser and Never Holding, Berhad have a lot of competition in terms of each product that company have produced. The top 10 competitor of FNN are Coca-Cola, Dash Lady, PepsiCo, Nestle, Dr. Pepper, Snapple, Kraft, Heinz, Mondelez International, Danone, General Mills, and Kellogg's. It is actually show that actually FNN did have high competition in the industry, as company did not only produce one product but few more product, as each product have their own competitor that need to compete in the food and beverage industry. Secondly, for the trade of entry, the FNN in beverage industry was low barrier of entry, where it is involved brand loyalty, cost advantage, capital requirement, access to supply and distribution channel, and retaliation. As for FNN, may face a threat of new entrants, as food and beverage industry did have low barrier for new business to enter, but as we know, FNN Holding Berhad already have a strong brand in the market in terms of producing soft drink and dairy products, so it may be difficult for new competitor who just enter market to compete with existing brand like FNN, as their brand already popular, or consumer did aware of FNN brand that produce a soft drink and dairy product. In the food and beverage industry, bargaining power of supplier. Firstly, as FNN produce beverage such as soft drink, where it was need high level intake of sugar in each drink, so it is crucial to have supplier that could supply sugar to the manufacturer in order to ensure smooth operation for produce the product. For supplier of sugar, where it has lower bargaining power of supplier, as there are a lot of supplies for sugar that FNN Berhad could pick and decide to use. As for the FNN Holding Berhad, it is crucial for company could have a lot of choice in terms of supplier for raw material as manufacturer for beverage. Furthermore, in terms of packaging itself, also important for FNN company, where plastic, bottle, can for dairy products, and environmental friendly packaging, boxes for juice, company need to get supplier that could provide supply of packaging for beverage and dairy product, can aluminum use toward packaging of dairy product was in medium bargaining power of supplier. Where next is bargaining power of buyer. For bargaining power of buyer for FNN Holding Berhad, where bargaining power of buyer was high or strong, whereby buyer could demand for a lower price for the product and high quality of product that company need to produce. In beverage and food industry, the bargaining power of buyer was high. Nowadays, people using internet at online platform, to compare price and quality of product through Shopee, Lazada, Amazon, and others, where it lead to strong bargaining power of buyer, as consumer could compare same product that been produced by other firms. So next is a threat of substitute product. As for FNN Holding Berhad have a high substitute product such as Dutch Lady, Coca-Cola, Red Bull, and others. The customer would expose and attract toward a same characteristic of product, as each result to indirectly give threat toward company. Next is SWOT analysis for the threat. Firstly, strong competition with a same industry. The brand have well known across the country for a very long time on the Malaysian market, but this don't mean that market is difficult for other to enter. The market of food and beverage already packed, as the new entrance by new businesses was easy, where new businesses could be substitute to the FNM Holding Berhad's product. It is a show that a lot of substitute and competitor in the same industry that lead to fierce competition in terms of making sale and attract potential consumer to purchase product from the company, especially the most well-known competitor such as Pepsi, Coca-Cola, Nestle, Dutch Lady, and others. It can changes behavior of consumer toward healthier lifestyle. Changes behavior of consumer toward healthier lifestyle show it is will give threaten toward FNN company, where consumer would like to find product that could give benefit toward their health, especially in terms of intake of sugar, as carbonate drink as well known for having a lot of sugar in it, as people would more consequence toward intake of their sugar, especially nowadays during pandemic. So people would like to have a consume product that make their health better instead of carbonate drink, where it give effect and lead to the diabetes and obesity, as the consumer was consumed in the large amount. Third is decline sale due to COVID-19. The company have been affected by this pandemic in decreasing sale, as the pandemic happened in the end of the 2019 with a large scale. One of the factors that consumer face during pandemic leading to strictly to financial spending is restriction on movement or job losses. In FNN Holding Berhad did face some losses in terms of their revenue, where negative 2.2% revenue was decreased during pandemic. Government is introducing a tax on sugar sweetness beverage. Government start to introduce a tax on sugar and sugar drinks in order to reduce diabetes among citizens in the countries, as 10 cents per litre tax is imposed on drinks contain more than 5 grams of sugar and sugar sweetener per 100 ml, and on the sugar content of fruit and vegetable with greater than 12 grams of per 100 milliliter, as it is announced in the budget in 2019. On 1 April 2019, the sugar tax will be implemented. This will affect the soft drink operation of FNN, account for almost 30% of its revenue. The majority of the wide spectrum of drink offered in FNN Holding Berhad on the ready-to-drink market are taxable. For the SWOT analysis opportunity, firstly, a huge e-commerce platform. For FNN Holding Berhad itself need to adapt a new norms and technology, as a lot of processes purchasing nowadays using online platforms such as omni-channel for consumer to purchase goods at the groceries or needs, as people would using online platform to purchase goods. As one is our product innovation. For FNN Holding Berhad have R&D department, where the innovation value was very crucial in the company in order to upgrade or develop a new product according to the consumer demand, as well as producing high quality of product that would lead to high satisfaction level of consumer. In 2020, F&N company already successfully launched new product include. For the third one, it's advertising product that least popular. The corporation is also able to advertise items which are less common. The firm has the money to sell any of these other drink with a big gain by advertising it through social media platform or other platforms such as billboard or media, which is radio or television, by creating interesting advertisement. As but not least, the company could invest in a new market. The new market that F&N company would like to invest and enter was halal market, as global halal market would increase in the future according to the statistic, where market share of holding industry worldwide from 2018 to 2024 show for food and beverage of halal was second highest after Islamic finance. The next is a recommendation for ST strategy. Firstly, ST1 establishment flexibility competitive advantage. The company could success in the market through flexibility toward changes in the business environment and ability to get signal in the industry toward changes in terms of business itself or consumers' behavior toward purchases. Next is readjusted service to cater customer. For F&N Holding Berhad have their own website and application, which is F&N Live, where employees in the customer service section could sort the complaint and feedback, as well as the customer as the most important person in company, as they are the one who purchase product from company. So the company should initiative and respond quickly to their complaint and feedback through communication at the feedback section. Next is development of innovate new product. The company should innovate product that could give a benefit by innovate their previous product or creating a new product in section of juice and milk, where creating a product that give more benefit toward consumer and could attract consumer to purchase product from their brand. Next is a recommendation for WT strategy. Firstly, focus on competition-based pricing. The F&N company might execute the competitive pricing of higher rivals in a market which companies selling comparable item. Prospective consumer typically assess the cost of moving between the same rival. Within this method, there are three price possibilities, which in this method, there are three price possibilities. First, put the price below the pricing of the competitor. Secondly, establish the price in line with the competitive pricing. And the last price above the competitive pricing. This technique is a standard of the competitive pricing. F&N Holding Berhad can adopt the cost leadership plan, where it is aimed to establish competitive advantage by achieving lowest cost of operation. So by implement the strategy without getting affected from the firm may give impact in order to compete with competitor, especially Coca-Cola. Second is increasing employees' preparedness on unexpected situation. For the company must plan the alternative in advance in order to confront the uncertain circumstance in future. For example, stay up with the advance in technology and changes in global pattern. Use the technology as much as possible, might reduce the cost and provide the brand the competitive edges. Always encourage the staff to learn a fresh concept and market trend. This allows the employees to become aware of, prepare them to deal with market changes. The company itself should have higher skilled employees where could have critical thinking and problem solving as a value the company needed during this pandemic to come up with a new idea and concept to ensure a company could survive during pandemic. For example, by using employees as creativity by creating a new recipe for people could follow and purchase from the company. Last but not least, targeting prospect in direct market. It is a promotional means including the presentation to your target client of information about your organization, product or service without the involvement of a publicity intermediary. It is a focused method of marketing which provide information of a possible consumer interest which is identified as prospective purchase. The company could get information and data about prospect client through website and mobile application, through history of customer that have been purchased product from company by sending promotion deal through their email or mobile phone. It gives impact as existing customer may interest on deal of company offered toward them. The company also could give emailing voucher and discount toward a subscriber who have earned point from previous purchasing and giving discount on certain days to caught their attention on purchase a good deal by the company.
In this section, we already provide three questions that is related to the strategy audit report of Fraser and Neaves Holdings Berhad. Okay, firstly is what is the issues that happen in FNN that impact their performance and profitability? Second, what is the key success factors of FNN to sustain in business over many years? And lastly is what is the future challenges for FNN to be compatible in the industry? So we have come up to the conclusion. So firstly, the Fraser and Neaves Holdings Berhad is one of the religious leading beverage producers and distributors. Next is FNN Holdings Berhad are enhancing their product offerings in order to fulfill their increasing and growing in the customer demand and loyalty. FNN major challenge in competing in the market is due to the fact that some of their product may not have suited the taste and appetites of the new market. This research includes an industry analysis of the Porter 5 course in order to better understand the FNN's business environment. In order to add the Toastmetric outcome, a SWOT analysis was conducted, and lastly, all the recommendations are to increase the company's competitive edge and strategic planning. That's all from us. Thank you. Hello, this is an appreciation video from the Logisticians. We are from Group 7. My name is Farhan bin Abdul Karim, and I would like to say thank you to Dr. Abdul Manaf for teaching us throughout this year. I also would like to say thank you to all my teammates for their cooperation in completing all the assessment. Thank you, Doctor.